What is going on, good looking people? Today's athlete is one of the nicest people in the world, probably because she's a New Zealander. It's her very first year qualifying as an individual for the CrossFit Games, and I reckon she's going to make a big splash. Harriet Roberts. Well, Harriet, thank you so much for making the time today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, I saw on your Instagram that you were working out on the back of a ute or a truck for the rest of the world. Is that where you're going to be doing the Games workout?
Yeah, how good. They just said a GHD and they didn't say skio, did they? So I just whipped it on the back. I'm ready.
That's so awesome. I wanted to ask you, this is your first time making it to the Games as an individual, is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
How's it been like this year qualifying? Because you qualified fairly early in the year at the Asia Cross, or what was it called, that China Sanctional. How's it been, I guess, qualifying so early, and then this whole pandemic hitting and the Games being so up in the air? Has it been stressful for you, or has it been disappointing, I guess, or stressful at all over the last kind of 6 months?
Yeah, I guess there was because I did qualify so early on, there was such a large length of time that I was able to train, and I had a big plan sort of mapped out for my journey to the Games, and it hasn't followed that plan, which is fine because not all things go to plan, but at the same time it's been so thrown off that I've been a bit all over the place. I was like, I'm going to do a big strength cycle, and then I'll roll into this, then I'll do that, and then it's just kind of been the at-home garage gym training a little bit and stuff like that. But I guess people say it is what it is, so just rolling with the punches like that. So yeah,
for sure. And just how excited were you when you qualified? Because I imagine you've been trying to qualify as an individual for a while now. Has it been a dream for a while, or is it something that you just recently decided to try and do after the team stuff?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think as an individual athlete, you always want to make it to the pinnacle, the top, the Games. So that's definitely always been a dream of mine. I've definitely taken some years to chill. Like last year, I guess it was the idea to relax a little bit and do the team competition with Project X. But my eyes were still set on individual and coming back into that. So the goal's always been there, but it's just this has just happened to be the year that I qualified after all this time.
Yeah. And has it been a challenge to train for you with things being shut, or have you had access to the gym pretty freely?
It's been a bit of a mixture of both. I live part-time between two cities. So I live in Sydney and then part-time in like a little country town. In the country town, I have access to like a full sort of like garage gym. It's more than a garage gym. It's quite awesome. But then when I was back in Sydney, then I was actually just training in the garage with a dumbbell and that sort of stuff. So it's been a bit of a mixture of both. So some weeks you'll have a great training week, and then the next week you're doing air squats and burpees. So yeah, it's just kind of changed throughout the course of the last couple months in the pandemic.
Yeah, sweet. And how are you feeling about the new structure, like the whole online thing? Obviously, it's great that you are in that top, the qualifiers that actually can compete online. But how do you feel about the whole new structure for this year?
I think it's really easy for people to say like, oh, it is what it is, which I did say before, and that they're happy with it. I guess there's one side of it saying, I'm going to deal with what it is, but there's another side. You can still be disappointed. You can still be upset. And I think that's definitely the kind of my thought process and where I'm at the moment. When I think of the CrossFit Games, I don't think of it as doing it in my own gym, sort of by myself and not with other people around me. And I didn't want to do the Games so much for I've done so many different competitions and online competitions and qualifiers and all sorts of things before, and I've had that experience, but I just think the Games is a whole new experience in itself, and that's kind of what I was going for. And I want to line up next to the best girls in the world, and I want to be on that floor, and it's been really upsetting and really disappointing. So I'd lie to say I wasn't upset, and it hasn't been a lot of a letdown.
Absolutely. I appreciate the honesty. I can imagine as a lot of people feel that way, especially the rookies or the people that are qualified for the first time. It must be horrible. What about online comps? Do you normally do one of those? Like, are you comfortable training or like competing in an environment where there's not hype or crowds or support people? Like, is that something that you've done well with in the past?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I definitely love doing, say, like the open and online comps alongside someone. That doesn't have to be someone I'm going head to head with. Like, I always do the open just here at Athletic, and I do it with, you know, your average Joe, your this, that. I just love having someone that's hurting alongside me, and I love that sort of push. I don't care if I'm around ahead or they've scaled this or that. I just enjoy someone being there for that hurt. In saying that, I guess a positive is I've never been a open redoer. I think I've redone maybe 2 workouts or something like that, like mainly because I stuffed it up or something like that. I guess because of the old structure, it was good for me not to redo, but might be strategically better later. But I think that's a positive, right? There's a lot of people who will get a large upgrade on their score after they hit it a second, third time. And I'm pretty good at just hitting it one and done and going hard out the bat. Also because it hurts so bad. I don't want to do it again.
Yeah. I like that. I like that approach. There's not many of those around, I think, that do the one and done. I think most people that are trying to qualify will do it multiple times. So I respect that. That's cool.
Well, now you can do it out of the open. It's smart for you to redo. So
sure.
Maybe I should be and test.
Yeah. And is there any, I don't call them weaknesses for you guys because at your level there's no real weaknesses as such, but is there anything you've been working on specifically or any gaps you've been trying to fill leading up to the games?
One of my biggest weaknesses is running. I don't particularly love running. I'm just my 100 meters is the same pace as my 5K is the same pace as my 10K. I probably should have worked on it a bit more. So it's to my detriment if I suffer in a workout with running in it. And then heavy squatting, which I guess was another challenge when we're just training out of garage gyms and stuff like that, being able to have the load and stuff like that. But yeah, those 2, running and squatting, and they're going to come up. So yeah, we just
yeah.
comes.
Yeah. What is your feeling on that? Like, now that you guys have the equipment list, do you think it's going to be kind of like similar to the open style workouts, or do you think it'll be more like, I guess, regional sanctional level workouts? I don't know. Like, do you have a feeling on what might come up?
I'm hoping there's a lot more variance. I mean, especially sending out a judge that can work with those movements that are a little bit more complex, and there's been some, I know Dubai and stuff have done it really well with some of their workouts that they've thrown in there. They've still had a very small equipment list, and you know, I think they're still able to mix it up a fair bit. But I don't know. I wish there was more equipment, but I wish there was another cardio machine, like a bike or something like that. I think that'd be awesome. But yeah, I'm very interested to see what they do.
Yeah,
very interested.
Yeah, for sure. And if you do make it in the top 5, is traveling something that's a reality for you? Like, are you able to travel to the US? Do you know if that's something that you can do now or not?
I think that there's still a complete travel ban here in Australia. I'm 99% sure. And I think that if there isn't and you are able to travel, which we were considering a couple of weeks ago or a month ago or so, it's something like, it adds up to like 6 weeks of quarantine or something ridiculous. I was like, I will go absolutely mental. Like, I would not be okay in a hotel room by myself for 2 weeks. I'm going to have to sacrifice someone else and bring them into the room. And then I was like, then can we share a hotel room? Like, is that cool? And then we were just talking about making our own little like YouTube reality show, like Big Brother, and people can tune in like any time of the day and see what weird crap.
That'd be amazing. I'd love to see that. Harriet and Khan, and that'd be amazing. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Awesome. Oh, well, that's awesome to kind of hear about how the last 6 months have been for you. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see, especially the New Zealand Aussie athletes. Do you call yourself a New Zealander or an Aussie?
Yeah, New Zealander for sure.
Yeah, sweet. Do you compete, when you compete in the Open, do you compete under New Zealand nationally? Sorry, did I break?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, we look forward to seeing you throw down, whatever that might look like. I'm not sure how are they going to stream it or show it, but I look forward to it, and I'll be yelling and screaming for you from the Gold Coast.
Woo, I love it. Thank you.
Awesome.